Yeah, today we're going to continue building the rest of the report screen. We have pretty much done the weekly charts in the previous episode, so today we have the monthly and the yearly charts. It's gonna be fun. So let's dive in. All right, let's boot up the app just to check on the progress that we've done yesterday. Okay. Here's the expenses screen. Here's the report screen. There we go. Okay. We can see that we have some issues with the padding. As you can see, our canvas bleeds into the lists. So we need to fix that. And I think I know where that is. So we have the weekly chart here. Did we define the height? Yeah, there we go. 147 dp. Let's try it like 155. 147 was more of a... We got that value from our design. Okay, this actually made it worse. No, okay. Okay, so 147 is okay, but there's like a padding stuff. Let's see. If we add a bottom padding of like 20 dp. Fill max size. Yeah, let's try that as well. Let's see if the padding thing works. It does make sense for the fill max size to work because we only use the fill max width and we have problems with the height. Okay, so this kind of fixes it, the padding, but let's see, fill max size. So that's like width and height. Okay, we can still see there are like issues. Yeah. And like without the height, I think we need the heights because the height is what determines the actual height. So, and we also have the lists to one fraction. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to remove, I'm going to do some refactoring. I'm going to remove the padding and I'm going to move the padding, the height to this box wrapper. 147 density pixels. So I think it's better to keep the max size on the chart itself, but control the size of the actual chart from outside of it. So that would make this component more pluggable. Yeah, and we'll bring back the old padding rule. Okay, let's see. This looks decent. Let's also reload the app so the padding takes effect. There we go. Yeah. I also want to bump up the height a bit because these are like, I feel like they're too, too short. So let's give them about 160. Let's see, 80. 180 is okay. Yeah. And there's our padding. So it doesn't clash with the x-axis legends or labels. Cool. There it is. So what we also want to do now is try to come up with a label formatter for the y-axis values. As you can see, the values, these can be a bit larger as well. If we made them larger now, we might lose on space. But I wanna do something about this. I don't like having these specific numbers. We can do like, in this case, instead of like a 5,442.2 US dollars, we can just do, I don't know, 5.4K, right? That gives you like a rough idea of how much you spent. Not exactly to the penny, because you can You can pretty much see it here. You know, USD 85. This would generate all of the total ones. Now the maximum, yeah, the maximum you can check it out from the lists, right? So for example, in this case we have like 1700, 39, 49, 24 and 27. I have no idea how we got this number, but we are working with mock data, so we'll check the validity of the data later when we actually work with real data. But yeah, I would like to work on this now. So let's enter the weekly charts. We got the y-axis drawer where we only change the text color. I think there was a value formatter. Cool. Okay, so we can get the value here and we should return, let's see the type. Label formatter. We get a float and we should return a string. Cool. Okay, so let's see. If we wanna round it up. Let's actually go and create a utility for this, because I feel like it's going to be a bit more complex. So this will be, how do we call this? Number, just like number utils. Yeah. So let's create a function that would round the number with or like number what are like the K and M called like, I can't remember. I think I know the word for it. For example, if instead of like saying 1000, you can say like 1K, and that K stood for like, I know it's like kilo, which in Latin is like 1000, but denomination, but I don't think that's technically correct. Yeah, so I'm looking for that because it's not just gonna be K, it can be like an M for million, B for billion, if someone, you know, spends billions of dollars, you know, certain amount of time. Yeah, what if we just do like simplify number? We'll grab, yeah, we'll just do like simplify number. We'll get the value as a float and we should return a string. Okay, so if the value is like greater or equal to like 1000 and the value is less than or equal 99,000, no, just like 1 million, then we want to divide this. So what's up with this? In a range check. Okay, cool. Yes, there we go. Okay, so if the value is in like the K zone, but not really like this, so I'm gonna turn these into 999.9, I guess, right? Or wait a minute, let's do this instead. Right, so if it's like greater than or equal to 1000, or if it's less than a million but not including the million, yeah, that as well. So let's use like the underscores. There we go. 1 million, 1000, it's okay, I guess. We don't have to do this. But for the million, it's better. So if it's like within the K zone, right, we want to return the value divided by 1000 K. Let's see. It should return a string though, right? Else again, if the value is like greater than or equal to million. We want to return the value divided by a million, M. And should these be capital? Let's make them capital. Else, we want to return the value, whatever it is. Oh, return when? Yeah, that's also cool. Let's see, return when. We want to pass the value, right? And we can also provide, or we don't need the value here. And return this. Then we have another condition where we would like to return this. Let me check the Kotlin when. Oh, arrows, yeah. When expression. There we go. There's the else at the end. Cool. All right, so we are returning this in this case. We're returning this in this case. Else, we're returning the value. So I want to remove this, and now we are in the clear. Okay. We'll see if we actually wanna, we wanna parse this as like an integer or a float with like maximum 1 decimal points. Jettles, I don't like compose, it scares me. Why? I used to make an Android apps in 2014 in school. Yeah, me too. I started looking at it again, and now the whole ecosystem is insanely convoluted. I totally understand you, and I'm in the same boat as you. It is overwhelming because like since 2014 a lot of things have changed. New things have been, brought up and developed. But I kind of like Kotlin, I'm not sure if my experience was like severely limited almost 10 years ago as opposed to today. But I feel like Kotlin is a pretty good language. It is pretty feature rich, rich compared to other languages. Yeah. And it's definitely better now than it was back then, like from a developer experience standpoint. I agree with Lane. Because like back in the day, I even like created Android apps in Eclipse. That is, you can't really compare, the olden days where we built Android apps with Eclipse with today building, apps with Android Studio and all these toolings. It is so much easier nowadays. All right, let's check it out. We have a number here. We want to do like a parse double dot parse, or like parse double, damn it. Number input parse, no. Double parse double. Actually, no. Let's see. Kotlin round number to 1 decimal point. Should we like do a string format? There's a math round or string format. Yeah. 1F. Let's actually do that, I'm gonna leave. Where are we? I'm going to leave this, but I'm going to do like string dot format. And I remember this from like a university C++ days. So let's do this. And we want to do %.1f. And then we'll pass the actual math here. Cool. We'll do the same here. String.format %1.f, .1f, and then we pass the actual value. Let's see the chat. Kotlin is great. It's one of the best changes they made. It's the constantly changing libraries and design patterns. Like they can't decide what they endorse. And it's funny because Google didn't even make Kotlin. Yeah. You look up to a tutorial from 2021 and it's outdated. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's normal. I've seen it in a lot of, you know, frameworks and technologies that are especially like in their, you know, infancy. They're not mature yet, so there's like a lot of, you know, pattern shifts that happen. And even as you mentioned, like looking at a tutorial from last year, it's already outdated because, you know, things have changed. But that's normal. Yeah, that's normal. It does boil down to Android maturing. Android in terms of, you know, Kotlin and Jetpack Compose and all these things. Because it's fairly new, you know, and they, like the developers themselves that, you know, are behind Jetpack Compose and Kotlin, they're also figuring things out. Not Kotlin though, Kotlin's like totally different thing, you know. JetBrains, they work on their language as they, you know, as they wish. It's the Google team behind Android that tries to, you know, work around the JetBrains team when they're, you know, outputting new language features, etc. Exactly. And yeah, as they move into the declarative UI space, they'll eventually start to settle. And I also think it's better for the ecosystem as well, you know, the declarative UI, because it's, you know, it leaves room for like a lot of, you know, innovations and libraries and everything. I even wrote about this. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but I did some like insights. I'm gonna share it with you and tell me if you like it. But yeah, I wrote a blog post about the future is declarative. Do check it out and let me know what you think. It's like a thought piece with some examples, etc. All right, let's check this out. I think I'm going to format this string as well. %.1f. I'll just pass value without the $sign because we're not doing that. And now we can use the simplified numbers. And I can just do... Was this the... Yeah, there were... Cool. I still don't know what this is used. Lane, if you know it, you know, you can help me. But this is super clean. I don't really need to open up like a new lambda and get the value as like an argument and then pass it to this number. This is just crazy good. It is not the most straightforward way, you know, compared to the other languages. But I bet this just copies the reference to this function. I've seen this in like C++, I think. Yeah, I've seen this in like C++. Maybe that's it, you know, maybe that's it. But cool. Let's run it now and see how our label formatter formats our labels. Hey, check it out. So this 0.0, we'll try to work around this. I think we already found a solution because we use the same solution here. For decimals, that's like 0.0. We don't have any decimal points, but this actually works. 1.2k, 2.3k, 3.5k. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back and actually let's go to the expenses lists. Here's the day group. There's the row, and we have the... Actually, it's not. It is in the row, yeah. There's the formatter. Decimal format, and then we pass this amount. Okay, so that's what we're after. Decimal format, and here's the pattern. And then format, and then we pass the actual value. So we can do that here as well in our number utils. But we have to do that here, though. Format, and then pass this value. Same here. Close it off, and then also just around the value as well. So if we reload, the zeros should be just 0, not 0.0. Nice. All right, let's see what that was. Let's see what that was. Illegal format conversion exception. Oh, wait a minute. This returns a string. this returns a string. Okay. So you can't really do string.format now. But we also, you know what? I think I got it. Since this returns a string and it does format our value, we can just like add a k here. No, just the value in this case. But I'm gonna add an m here and then like a k here. And now we can get rid of all of this. Like this. Let's see. All right, we got it. So we got the 0, 1.7k, 3.5k, 5.2k. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now what I also want to do is only show labels. The 0 one, the maximum one, and the middle one. So in this case, like get rid of the 5.2 and 1.7. Let's see. I believe we should be looking at the y-axis thrower, not the label formatter. Maybe that's like the label ratio. I don't know what that is, but let's see. Label ratio, and that's like an integer. All right, 1. Set it to 1 and let's see what it produces. Is it like one label? Oh man, all right. Okay, that's too much. What about 3? What about 6? There we go. 5? 4? Or like 7. But this makes sense now, right? Now, because we have the, you know, much smaller numbers, we don't have like a lot of digits. We can have like 4 or like 5 values at most. We can bump up the text size. We can do like, I don't know, 18 SP. Maybe that's like too much, but let's see. Let's see how that looks like. Because I feel like these labels are like way too small. Now they're way too big. But I guess 14 would make more sense. 14 does make more sense. And now they're more readable. They're not too tiny and you can see them. Okay. That works. That works. Cool. So we have... I believe we can say that the weekly chart is donezo. We can move on to the monthly one. And the monthly one is going to be interesting. Because we have dynamic values, right? For example, for January, we'll have 31 bars. You know, for like, I don't know, June, we'll have 30 bars because they're like 30 days. And depending on the month, we need to dynamically render the bars. And that means, yeah, dynamically render these here. So let's go. There's a weekly chart and we can create a new Kotlin called the monthly chart. Composable. Okay, and then we'll grab the list of expenses. A list of expenses, and then we'll also grab the month. We'll also grab the month. That would be like a, I guess just month, and it's gonna be like a local date. Not with the time, but just like local date. We'll see, maybe we'll do the local date time. It's more data. We're not gonna use it anyways. Okay, so we have the expenses. We can group them and we'll create like a new instead of grouping them by day of week, we're gonna group them by the number, you know, the date number. So group them by just by day, not day of week. Okay, and instead of string, this is going to be like an integer. Let's see now. There we go. So instead of day of week, we only wanna grab probably the date. Is that a thing? Or day of month? Yeah, day of month actually. Okay, so day of month. Yo, Calavan, how's it going? Hey, thanks for stopping by. Pay attention in school. Don't be like me. Okay, so now we have the day of month. We don't have actually like the dot name. We can easily get rid of that. So we're basically creating a map where, like, for the first day, we have a list of expenses. And that would be like the first day of the month. And when you have the second day, etc., etc. So these are going to be the monthly expenses. Cool. What's the complaint? Group by day. What's up with this? Day of week. Oh, there already is. All right. Day of month. There we go. We had a duplicate. Cool. Group by day of month. That's what we're going to use here. I'm just gonna remove this. Cool. We got the expenses here. Let me just quickly steal the chart from the weekly chart, and then we'll figure it out. I also realized that not the label drawer, but the bar drawer is not gonna work because we have this constant value that makes our charts, you know, much wider, and it's not gonna work if we try to like draw 31 bars and all of them will have like a 24, you know, 24 pixels, density pixels, more, you know, be wider. So it's not gonna, totally not gonna work. So we'll try to make this more dynamic a bit later. Okay, so we have the grouped expenses now, and what I want to do is remove these. First I want to figure out how many days do we have in that month, and the month we're getting it from the arguments, right? So month, we can do like the trick. We can create a new date. How was that trick? Like create a new date, do like a minus or something like this with day of month. All right, I gotta ask. So Kotlin, local dates, get number of days in month. Year month, but that's like in Java 8. Actually, we don't need this. Let's see. Year month. Oh, there we go. Year month of month dot year month dot probably month. Yeah. And we can do length of month. Beautiful. So number of days. Cool. Now we need to create a range from 0 to number of days, loop through it, and render bars for each of the values. Okay, so can we do that with a 4? Can we do that here as well? That's the real question, because we have a list of. Can we loop inside of list of? Let's see. Kotlin loop inside list of. Kotlin creates a list dynamic build lists. All right. Cool. So build list, and then we can add a bunch of stuff. That is it. That is exactly it. So there we go. Now what we want to do, I'll just remove the comma. What we want to do is like do a for, you know, and then we can do, let's see, Kotlin for loop range. For I in, and then we have the range. So for I in 0 until number of days. Now it's equals to, okay, cool. It's important to have that. So we got this now. We got the I, and then we can do add. I do some stuff. So add, and then we can add the bar chart here. And instead of trying to figure it out from the name, we'll just pass I to it. And that's it. This should generate that many bars, as much as there are days within that given month. Okay, so let's check it out. We have the box here. Before we actually do that, we need to create the action here that changes the recurrence, right? So these are like, or like changes the view. These are like daily views. We should be able to change it to monthly views, so we can see on a monthly basis. But just like for the fun and giggles, I'm just gonna do monthly charts and then pass a date. Local date now. Okay, so we're February. There's like 28 days, if I remember correctly. So we should see 28 bars. The labels, we need to figure out the labels. There we go. They're all M's now. We need to work on that. The label drawer. This should be, oh yeah, yeah, there we go. See that? Okay, so what can we do? What can we do? Got the y-axis. Here's our bars. The bars are okay. Oh, there we go. Damn it. Okay. Just pass I, and that's it, you know, as a string. And we should see them 0 to 27 in this case, I believe. Yeah, but we should be like 0 plus 1. Turn that into an expression, 0 plus 1. And then we'll have, we'll also want to remove the left padding. So in order to do that, I'm thinking of the most suitable way to, you know, refactor the label drawer and the bar drawer. Because I don't want to create bar drawer for a monthly chart and then a bar drawer for the weekly chart, only because I need to change one single value, like in this case. We can have since it's inclusive, pretty sure you only want the 1 until the days in month. Okay. But what about this though? When we group them by the day of month, we get the day of month here, and I believe this is like 0 to, oh no, from 1 to 31. Cool, totally. No, you were right. Yeah, this does, if this return like 0 to something else, but as you can see, it like returns, where are we now? Yeah, it returns from 1 to 31. Good catch, thanks a lot. So yeah, we should be looping from 1 until there, and we don't even need the +1 in this case because the label is gonna show the appropriate letter. Here we go. Cool. 28. That's about it. All right, so we need to refactor our bar drawer and label drawer. The label drawer has like a a huge offset. Maybe we might keep the bottom one, but we just need the left one, you know. And then we also have this, the bar drawer, which makes this, like, if I remove this and also this, you'll see that we should be pretty good in terms of the width of the bars. Should be pretty clear. Yeah. So that does it. I guess it's just that then. Yeah. So what if I pass like a value that would pick the right value for that? So we can reuse the bar drawer, but tell them, you know, this, like, this is, you know, use the bar drawer in the context of weekly chart or in the context of monthly chart, you know. So the bar drawer should be aware of where it's going, like what type of chart the bar drawer is drawing, and then come up with the value by itself. So like 24 for the weekly, but like maybe just 2, pass a sealed class with the value and then switch over it. Or that, or like yeah. Oh, wait a minute. All right, so we have this is a class, right? We can define the constructor here, can we? Let's see, how do we use that? Yeah, we can define the constructor, pass something through the constructor, and that, you know, just like keep it, and that's going to define the actual value. So this 24 right here, it is like the right coordinates. Getting the recurrence through the UI, so pass it though. Yeah, actually, yeah. Why don't we just like pass the recurrence? Did we have a model for that? We actually do. We have the recurrence. Cool. So let's also extend the constructor for this. And I forgot how that was. How do we do that? But let's see. Kotlin class constructor. Is it just like constructor, or do we? Okay, we do constructor here. Cool. So drawer, constructor, and then we pass the recurrence. Not a rect, but a recurrence. Cool. So here's our constructor. We have the recurrence, and then we can do like a private val, right offset, right, equals to a when, right? So when the recurrence is of type weekly, we want to return 24 Fs, right? When the recurrence, cool. So just do this now. When the recurrence is monthly, we probably want to do 2F, for example. We'll tweak that later on. If it's the yearly one, I'm not sure. Let's put it to 2F and then we can see. Else 0F. Make it, you know, make it default. So I'm going to replace these two with the right offset. And now let's go back to the report screen. So when we have the monthly chart here, and we use our bar drawer, we can pass the recurrence. Let's do import monthly. Okay, same goes here, but we'll just use the weekly one. Cool. So now it is aware. And we can start tweaking this. We'll do the same for the label drawer as well. Okay, let's go back to the bar drawer and start playing with the value. So Monthly is like 2. Let's bump it up to 4. 14. Let's see. Probably should reload the whole app. Too much. That was on purpose. Reload. I bet we can also use the apply changes for this. 8 is like too much. Let's see. Let's check the value 6. This is okay. This is like more okay. Cool. And let's go back to the reports and actually change it to weekly. So we should see the old weekly bars now. Can we do that? There we go. So we got the weekly bars. The 24F. Let's just like reload. Maybe that's the case. Because there was like way too much space between them. What happened with the space? Weekly charts. Damn it. Weekly, not monthly. Reload now. And we should, yeah, we should probably bring the 24 back. There we go. Okay, so here's our weekly chart. Let's bring back the monthly. And we should see the change in the bar width. Cool. That's smart. That's independent. Okay, so what are we doing now? Labels. The label drawer. Okay, same thing. Constructor, recurrence, keep it here, and then do the privates for the left and bottom. So these will be like 2. Private val left offset. That's going to be when recurrence. And I'm just gonna grab these. And for the weekly one was like 50F. For the left, and the monthly we'll see, and the yearly we'll also see. So I'm just going to replace the left offset and also create the bottom offset now. Or no, that should always be like 65, because the height of our chart doesn't change. It's only the width of the bars, so that's why we need to move the labels as well. All right, so let's go back to the weekly charts. Pass the recurrence. Same thing for the monthly charts. And reload. All right. I guess we need more. Oh man, the values. We have like 28. Even if we push them more to the right, there's like not enough space for them to render. So I believe we need to like rotate them a bit. But we definitely need more. Let's try 12. Yeah, 12 or like even 13 would work probably. 13 it is. Okay, so now let's find a way to rotate the labels so they're like, you know, at a certain angle. We got the draw texts. There's the panes, X and Y, but there's like no rotation. Do we do that in the paint? There's offset. Rotate. I can rotate the canvas. Yo. Canvas rotate. Look at that. All right. I don't know. We need it on the right, so that will be like 30 degrees. Nope. Okay, let's try a full reload then. Oh. Oh, okay. Check this out. But wait a minute. This also does the y-axis labels. So it's like the same canvas, I guess. All right, so rotate it before, draw the text, rotate it back. Yeah, rotate it to 30, draw the text and rotate it back to 0. Or like minus 30 to offset it. Let's see. Not it. Not it. Or do rotate like the native. Or do the native canvas. Or it's probably gonna be the same, I guess. Let's try to rotate the native canvas. Maybe that's gonna be like a... No, it's still the same. So instead of like rotating the whole canvas... Yeah, but that's it, you know, because we're rotating it, the whole canvas, then our left and bottom needs to... Yeah, they need to offset the rotation, so the you know, the digit itself, the label is placed at the exact... Because this is like... This is the line where we want to draw the labels. And because we're rotating it 30 degrees, it goes down like this. Yeah. If I don't offset it here, what if I do like minus 60? Is that gonna... I wonder how that's gonna look like. Crazy. It looks crazy. Okay, let's think this through. We're drawing a text, we just want it rotated. Rotated. Translate. Rotated texts. In the paint, it's just a color and text size. Okay. So we do the translate first to bring this here, I guess. And then go back to the same and then rotate it. Okay. Exact center X and exact center Y. And we already have the draw scope or the area. So from the area, we can probably obtain the exact center X and exact center Y. So we can rotate this. All right, let's actually try this out. So I'm not sure why this draws this text with like zeros. Set style, it's a stroke, draw a rectangle, translate. So it moves over there, and then we have the degrees, and then we have the exact. All right, let's see. Probably gonna keep this. So let's see. This is going to be like. Let's also do like 45, so we can have like a bigger angle. So 45. And there's the offset probably. So let's see, bar area exact. No, not really. X-axis area. Where is this coming from? So X and Y. No, this is the rect. Get text bounds. Let's see. X and Y. Draw text. Negative X and Y. So that X and Y thing. We probably have it here. Let's see. Bar area. X would mean left and Y would mean top probably. And let's also apply that to the negative 45. Reload and see if the offsets would fix it. Kinda, but I think we're getting there. So maybe not the bar area, maybe the x-axis area. Yeah. So let's see. X-axis area instead of bar area. Let's see. Because that one's constant. I think the bar area is where the area where we want to draw the value, like the label itself. Damn it. All right. Yeah. Bar area works, but for bars that where we have values, you see how they like move over to the left because there's like values here. Would that actually... would that have to do something with this? What if we do like 0? Or like we can't do that here, really. Bottom plus 65. Bar area. Let's see again. And we should probably do minus 65 in this case. Same, but it didn't actually change that. As you can see, we got all of our values thrown in here. The left thing is also messed up. We're so close. So close. This is the monthly one. Wait a minute. I just thought of something. We also did the ratio. We also did the ratio for like the X value. We don't actually need to see like the whole days. Maybe like 1 on every 5 days. There's your space, and there's also, yeah, it was cool trying to rotate the canvas and all these things, but I'm not actually going to bother with that. I'm just gonna like render the value on every like 5 days so we can have like a better, yeah, let's actually do that. Where were we? This is a label drawer. So for the monthly charts, we do have the label drawer, but that would be like the x-axis drawer. Yeah. Simple x-axis drawer. Then we'll do label ratio. I don't know, set it to 5 maybe. That's not a thing? Okay, not cool. Axis line thickness. Line color. No way. Okay. Only color and thickness, but it doesn't give us the ratio on the x-axis. That's not cool. For the y, we achieved it, but for the x, we also want to do it for the x. Maybe do that here. I don't know. If we don't even do the, you know, if we don't even draw the text, it's not gonna get rendered. I mean, it's a dirty fix, but it is what it is. All right, so let's see if the recurrence is like monthly. Should like a this dot instead. Super? No, it's not super. How do we have it here? Okay, Kotlin. Let's go back. See how we can use the actual value from the constructor. Can now actually do that as well. And then we'll have it. There we go. We don't even need to do this. Cool. If it's monthly and we want to parse, if it's monthly, we know that, you know, the label is going to be a number, so parse integer. Divided by 5 is like 0. So this is one case. We don't want to draw. We don't want to draw the text in these cases. Or like, yeah, we want to draw the text in this case if it's monthly. If it's like the weekly or yearly, just draw it, you know. Let's see how we can achieve that. Or if the recurrence is not monthly, then it's when we draw it. Okay, let's see. 5, 10, 15, 12, 25. And like the first and the last. And now how do we... Okay, let's see. Want to draw like a monthly condition. And grab all of this. Grab all of this. And this is going to be like an OR type of situation. So if the parse int is like a divisible by 5, or if it's like 1, we want to show the first day. We also want to show the last day, but I don't think we will figure that out. Yeah, I don't think we'll figure it out, because this is like the recurrence. The only way that we can actually obtain the last day here and like draw the label for the last day would be through the argument. So aside from passing the recurrence, we also want to pass the last day. So it is recurrence aware, but it's not really last day aware. Okay, so we need to figure that out. And that's actually like, we already have that. We already have that by the number of days. That's the last day. Okay. And for like the weekly charts, that's not even a thing. So we'll do val last day. And it's going to be like an integer, but it's going to be like an optional. We can do that here, and then we'll do if integer parse int label equals to last day, render it. Cool. So now in the monthly chart, we have the label drawer. We'll also pass. Oh no, wait a minute. -1. We'll just like put it -1. It's not private. Last day is going to be number of days. In this context, in the weekly chart, we don't even care about the last day. Okay, let's see. Let's check the labels now. Here we go. So 1, 5, 10, 15th, 12th, 25th, and then also 28th because we care about the last day. That's about it. I feel like we also finished the monthly charts because everything's there. Cool. Let's work on the yearly chart now. Yearly chart, same thing, composable. Yearly chart, we'll grab the expenses. A list of expenses. We don't really care about the, or like not, at least not now. We don't care about the weekly, sorry, the, which year is it? There's always January through Wednesday. So January through Wednesday, January through December. So we can just like hard code 12 bars and we'll be happy with it. Cool. So I'm actually gonna grab the whole thing. Drop it here. Import everything that needs to be imported. Label secondary. All right. And instead of day of week, we need like a month. January. We'll see if we want to like substring the first. We'll see. Okay, so February, March, April. Oh. Day of week, not the day of week, actually. Not sure what happened there. Oh, I didn't paste, of course. There we go. April, May, June. Damn it. Paste and then June. Paste. July. Why July to me? All right, July, August, September, October, November, December, June, July, and we want to do August, September, October, November, December. Cool. So our data, the key should be like the name of the month. The value, just like go with it. Cool. We got 12 bars. We want to create a new group function. Grouped by month. The string is gonna be the key. Cool. And now instead of day of week, we want to do like a month. And this is going to be like just a month, I guess. Month.name. Cool. Yeah. There we go. So grouped by month in the yearly charts. We got the 12 bars. Let's also change these to yearly recurrence and let's try it out. Let's actually try it out. No date is needed. Run. Now we need to work on the label drawer and the bar drawer to figure out the width of the bars. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Cool. Look at that. Okay, so yearly left offset. Let's do 12. And like reload. A bit more, like 15 probably. A bit more even. Maybe that's too much. Oh, that's actually okay. 18. Let's go with 16. Because I can see that the label for January is like somewhat centered, as you can see, but December is like way off. Look at the start of the letter D and the start of the bar. Not cool. Jason D. Wait, you know what? Let's figure out the bar drawer, no, the width first, and then we can see. What if we say the right offset will be like 6? Even more, like 8 to make them wider. Yet more, like 10. Let's see. Let's figure this out. Does it make any... I guess it does. They are getting... Okay. This is okay. This is cool. Now let's go and actually work with bigger values. Okay. I'm still getting the, the offset for the later months. So the left plus left offset should be bigger. What if we did... Let's see. What if we did the substring from 0 to 1 to like 0 to 3? In this case, we'll have to have the rotation and also too much. Or like maybe I can do the... I can make the text size a bit smaller. Feels like it's too small. But I guess we can push this a bit more to like 28. Thing is, if I leave the offset and just go with this, look at it. I actually think it's okay. It just needs like a bit of more offset. Because look at December now. The start of the D is about the start of the bar, and like the end of the C is pretty much the same. So this is okay. This is okay. Oh, stripping. Cool. Maybe even like smaller. 32. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I would rather, yeah, I would just like rather keep these as like ones and just bump this to like 42 or something like that. Yeah, much better. The thing about the J and why it looks like it's, you know, and why it looks like it's a bit to the right is because how the letter is, you know, how the letter is formed. So if we replace the J, you know, because J is like, it's on the right side, but the width of the letter is okay. Like, check this out. If I said U instead of just the J, right? So we have like these parts of the J letter as well. You'll see that. Okay, we changed data. Now we need to reload. You'll see that, you know, it's actually centered. But the appearance of the letter J, there we go. The appearance of the letter J gives us that illusion that it's not really centered, it's on the right side because we don't see... Alright, let's reload. Because we don't see, you know, the width, the whole width in total. But this is okay. This is okay. Okay, we got the whole, like all of the months. The width is fine. Everything's fine actually. Yeah. So now we are actually ready to implement the switcher, the recurrent switcher in the bar, in the top bar. Let's actually do that. So we got the top bar, title, colors, actions. We need one icon button. The icon should look, I don't know, like a calendar type of icon. Let's go and pull it. So we'll do material design icons. I don't have to pick the programmers or pick the grammars, just go fonts. Cool. Calendar. Yeah, this is fine. Or date range. Yeah. Let's pick this. Or this is way more simple because it's gonna be like a tiny icon. I like the bigger circle in today's icon, as you know, in contrast with the date range one, because it's better. Okay, so we wanna do the today icon. And what are we looking at? We're looking at 48 pixels. That might be too much. Let's go back to the main activity. I think 48 pixels. These were actually 48. Well, that'll be okay, I guess. Yeah, that would be okay. Okay. Add. Let's check the add icon. This one is 24. Okay. Look at that. All right, so let's actually get 24 icons. 24 width. There we go. This is what I'm talking about. Much better. Okay. We'll get the 24. We'll create a new drawable. We'll call this icon. Should also rename the other ones. The add, bar chart, chevron, right? Yep. This is gonna be like IC today. Icon today. I'm just gonna grab the add vector and let's open this. Not in Xcode, but in like, I don't know, text edit is fine. There we go. So we can grab, like, this is the icon that we're trying to add, but now let's see how we can add this as like an action or like an icon button. Or just like an action. see some actions. There we go. Actions, top bar action button, cool. There's the image vector and a description. So there already is a component for that. Oh, is there? Top up bar action button, is there like a custom one? Yes, it is. It's an icon button. I just need this then, instead of like the whole thing. We'll figure that out. Image vector. Probably like a painter resource would be better. R.drawable. I see today. Cool. And description is change recurrence. On click. Yeah, we'll change the actual recurrence. And we probably need a view model for this in order to keep, you know, the value. So let's create a new view model for our reports. Reports view model. What do we got here? A lot of stuff. Expenses. Just gonna rip the expenses one and just do reports state and reports view model. This is not gonna change, it's just gonna change the recurrence. There you go, there's our UI state. Set recurrence, beautiful. There we go. So let's go back here and we can do VM reports view model and use the view model method. So we got the VM here. And we should call set recurrence. And this icon button should show a drawer. That's one more value that we need to use, but then we also have the recurrence here, which means we have the expenses. So now we need to filter the expense. Yeah, a lot of things are going to happen in the view model. We just don't realize it yet. Okay, first I want to go to the expenses screen and check out the drop down. There we go. Expanded. Cool. And then we can get that rolling. Okay. We pretty much need something like that here, where the on click of the action should display the drawer. So I'm gonna put everything in a box, because if I don't think putting this drop down here is gonna work. Let's see. Menu opened, or like just menu opened. That's false by default, but it's gonna be a boolean. It's not just going to be false. Okay, so then we can create a new method called either like open or close, or just like toggle. Let's do open and close. Yeah. Open recurrence menu. We're gonna grab this and just change the recurrence menu open. We'll just set it to true and do the same for the close method. False. So now we can go back to the reports. When we click on this, we can do vm dot vm open vm dot oh yeah, UI state. We need to collect that as a state. UI state equals VM UI state collect as state. So there's our UI state. UI state dot by, oh damn, then value, I guess. UI state dot recurrence menu opened on dismiss. Cool. On dismiss, then we can just say VM close, and then inside we want to render the recurrences, and it's in the recurrences case we can do pretty much the same thing as we did back in the expense. So daily, weekly, and monthly, not the daily one, just weekly, monthly, and yearly. There we go. And when we pick a value, we can do VM dot close recurrence menu. Okay, let's check this out. Let's see what we have. Like it. I like it. Bam. Check it out. This week, this month. Yeah. Not the this thing, not the target, but like the name. Weekly, monthly, yearly. Cool. Cool. And then we change this and it works. Yeah. Okay, so we have the recurrence going on. Based on the recurrence, we need to render the charts. So we can do when UI state.recurrence, and we can do first we have the weekly. We can render the yearly charts. We need 3 of these. Weekly, monthly, and yearly. And the monthly is like it needs a date, so let's just do local date now and we'll figure it later. It also needs an else. I'll just return a unit. It's always gonna be these 3. Alright, so let's see now. The moment of truth. Nothing happens. Cool. Because the recurrence doesn't have a value. The default one. It does. It's daily. Weekly, please. And reloads. There's a weekly one. We have the whole week. We should see the whole month. Bam. And now we should see the whole year. Look at that. Look at that. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Okay. Okay. Now we can introduce the concept of date ranges. Because this is weekly view and it will only show the, I don't know, a random week or like this week. We need to import, we need to implement the pager view. So the reports screen, everything that you see here in the content here can be like swiped right to reveal the previous week. If we're looking at the weekly view, here's the current week, swipe right, you know, like swipe right, open the like show the previous week, and then swipe again to see the week before the previous week, like 2 weeks ago, etc, etc. If it's the monthly, we're looking at the monthly, this month, previous month, etc. If it's the yearly, we'll just like look at the current year, or like, I don't know. So that's what we need to do. That's next. But because we already have this working, I'm going to commit and push. UI done. with all the charts, all the bells, and all the whistles. Cool. Okay, so get this, and now let's try to implement Jetpack compose pager view, or like a view pager, something like that. There's the pager. But we're basically looking at paging the whole page. View pager. So I guess there is no native view pager. Oh, there is a pager. Semi-official. There really is not. Oh, paging. Okay, let's see. Paging. There's a package. It's a native one, but these are the libraries. Paging library makes it easier for you to load data gradually and gracefully within your app's recycler view. Okay, so when we implement the pager, it's important to listen to the changes. So like when the user, there's like two ways to go about this. Get the pager, provide the data, and render the report screen or the contents of the report screen scaffold separately for each of those data points. Or if it doesn't if it doesn't accept like a render props type of thing, we need to, that's like the worst way to go about it, but it all depends on the library and what it can give us. Yeah. Okay, so since there is no, I mean, there is like a semi by the accompanist, so maybe we should like try this one out. Horizontal pager, 10 pages for every page with display that's okay. The pager layouts are currently experimental and APIs could change. All of the APIs are marked with the experimental pager API. I believe this is like the old view pager. Yeah. Okay. Cool enough, but let's try to use the horizontal pager then. Alright, let's see how. Should probably install this 0.21.29.1. Pager probably. We don't need the indicator. How do you? Okay, there we go. It's at the bottom. If you're using indicators, also depend on, yeah, no. We don't use the indicators, so let's add the pager, and that was like 0.29.1 -alpha. 029 1 dash alpha sync. We are going to use the horizontal pager. I'm curious to see if there's like a inverted layout, like RTL type of thing. Well, we'll see. Okay. So here's the reports page. We got all of this working. This is the content. I am going to render the whole thing into a horizontal pager. The count is going to, you know, it's gonna change, and we are going to make the count based on the recurrence. So if the recurrence is set to weekly, it's always gonna be 53, because that's the number of weeks in the past year. If it's like monthly, 12. If it's yearly, just 1. Okay, so let's see. Number of pages equals when recurrence. We want to return like a 53 because we're looking at weeks. Return 12. Return 1. I'll just return 53. I don't care. UI state dot recurrence. And now we do num of pages. Okay, so what's up? Accompanies is experiment. Okay, yeah, add the thingy, and let's also see. There's a modifier state reverse layout. Beautiful, beautiful reverse layout. I am actually going to do the reverse layout immediately because we wanna reverse it. The last item would be today, and the first item would be like the furthest from today. There's padding and stuff. We don't actually need padding because we're rendering whole pages. We're paging whole pages. All right, let's see. No way. All right, it does work in a way that I'm not sure if it like reloaded when I added the reverse, but let's restart it and see. We don't actually need the onChange event in this case. Okay, there we go. Immediately, we got it working. So beautiful, beautiful. We have the page. Okay, we have the page here. This is the pager scope, and it is actually the page, right? So using the page, we're going to calculate the offset. And when we get the offset, and the offset is going to be like the current page minus the number of pages. So if we're looking at like the last page, which is 53, let's actually try this out. So I'm gonna obtain the page here, and here I want to display something before the actual range. So we'll do page minus num of pages. So that should all give us either like a 0 or a negative number, and that's what actually we want. Minus 53. Okay. 52. I didn't actually expect that. So let's just check out on the page. Zero. 1. Okay, there we go. There we go. We don't actually need to do the math. The page, even though it's like reverse layout, it still respects the 0 to... Yeah, so we'll use the page as a coefficient, and along with the recurrence, we'll figure out the date range that we need to display on our screen. And using that date range, we'll first filter out all of the expenses that are outside of the date range, only keep the ones inside, and then we'll group them and then we'll display them. Okay, that sounds fun. Let's actually try it out. So, and we need to do that in here because that's where we have the page. Okay, we have the view model. Because we have the view model now, I guess it would make sense to do those things in the view model actually, but the current page, let's see. There is no event, as you can see. There is no events like on page changed so that I can trigger something in the view model, but it looks like there is no. To the pager defaults. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Here is what we can do. Because we have the page and we have the content, if we divide and like isolate, extract the whole content of this page into a separate composable, we can pass the page as an argument. We'll try to use that argument to create a new view model with that value of the current page. So we'll have the expenses, we'll have the recurrence, we'll have also the current page. So there will be like a separate view model instance for all of the pages. Hopefully they destroy when they're not in the view. And that's how we can create everything there. So let's actually try that. We have the reports, and now let's create a new report page view model. Okay, it's going to be a view model. What was that? It's just a view model with capital V. There we go. We also wanna create an argument that takes into account the page. Okay, so we'll move everything here. Let's also create a new composable, a new component called report page. Report page. We'll render all of this. Cool. Inner padding. Yeah, we got the inner padding from this content right here. There's the page. So we are going to render the report page. We'll pass the page as an argument. So in here, we'll just obtain the page. Oh. Here's the page. We also want to have our view model. Report page view model equals view model, and then we also want to pass the page inside. So let's see. Jetpack compose view model with arguments. You need to create a factory to pass dynamic parameters to view model. Okay. And you can have the access to the DB name in your view model. Cool. Cool. All right, so I'm going to move that factory within the view model itself. That would be reports page view model factory. Report page view model. The DB name is just gonna be like a string, sorry, integer. Okay. So what's this? Create overrides nothing. 2021, so something changed then. Oh. So there's like a better, let's see that. View models, I'm gonna create the factory here. So there's our factory, which means in our reports page, I can do this and pass the factory equals view model factory. Damn it, view. Yeah, view model factory, and then inside we can do report page view model and pass the page from the arguments. Cool. Okay. Okay, we got it. We got it. And now we have like the inner padding and like these things, and I feel like we should pass this as well. Padding values. There we go. That's happy as well. And of course the UI state, we can pass those things as well. So we got the page, the inner padding. I would change the order of these. So aside from that, we can do UI state dot recurrence as well. It's like the third argument. Here's the recurrence as well. What else do we need? We have the recurrence, and that's about it, right? Cool. Okay, so what have we accomplished? We have refactored the contents of a pager into like an individual horizontal reports page where there's a separate instance for each page. Hey Lane, how's it going? There's a separate instance for each page. We did this because we wanted to create a view model that is page aware, so that when it creates, or like when it gets instantiated, we can grab the expenses and filter them out into the init function itself. Okay, that was a mouthful, but let's actually start working on this. So we got the expenses. We got the expenses. Val, or we'll change them later on. Okay, here's the state. Wanna do the init. Also wanna do the same thing with the flow. I'm just gonna do state in this case, and that's it. And in this case, they always have like a default value, so it doesn't complain. But we got the page, right? So we can do like page. There we go. We got the page. We also should have the recurrence as well. Yeah, we should have the recurrence as well. So here's the page, here's the recurrence. So now we know, based on the recurrence and page, now we know how to calculate the date range, and based on that date range, we'll also filter out the expenses. There we go. There we go. And we'll feed everything into the UI state. So back in the reports page, we'll just render UI state.expenses, UI state.range, etc., etc. So that's the general idea. Okay, let's see. We'll do some math here. We got the page, we got the recurrence. If the page is like equals to 0, it's today, or not today, but like this week or this month or this year. And then we have the recurrence. If the page is 1, it's like last week or last month. It's not gonna be like last year. But we basically need to end up with a date range from and to, or like start and end. That's what we need, and we need to also put that into the data class. So aside from the list of expenses, we also need the range, the date range. Let's see. I guess start local date and end. And when we basically calculate this, we don't need the time. Okay, cool. Yeah. So now let's see. We'll use page. So let's provide the defaults. Inside of the inits, we're gonna be doing all of this math, right? So we'll use the page as like a coefficient. Maybe we want to do like a +1, so when we multiply by 1 we get the same, you know, like we have today, and we're going to do minus today, or like this date, minus the page coefficient, or just page, times, and this is gonna be like in a parenthesis, page times page times number of days, where the number of days will, or like a period, we need to figure this out as well. And this one is going to be it's going to be based on the recurrence page. We already have it, but I like it like page +1. I want to set this to page +1 because the first page is 0, And if we multiply this by 0, actually, yeah, not +1. 0 is okay, because that means today, you know, or this week, we don't really need to subtract anything. So today minus 0 will still remain today. That's the general idea that I'm trying to accomplish. And we'll do this for the start and the ends. If it's like, if the recurrence is like weekly, start is gonna be like this Monday, or like the last Monday from this week. The end is gonna be the next Sunday. And then we'll subtract, or minus, subtract 7 times the page. Okay, let's do that. So when recurrence is like weekly, we want to do something. We'll say that the start is gonna be like, give me today and give me the date of this Monday. You know, that's the local date. Now let's see, day of week, probably value. Let's see, today, and I can put this here, equals local date dot now. Okay, so we can do start is gonna be today, no, today, damn it, local date now minus days, today, day of week value, too long. All right, so what we do here is like create a new date and subtract that many days. Like if, like, for example, today is Wednesday, that means subtract 3 days from today, and that's the start, and that's Monday. And let's see, day of week with the value, let's see what the value is, 1 to 7, 1 to 7. Cool. And if today is Monday, it's gonna subtract, yeah, so I should probably do -1 here, because if today is Monday, it's gonna be 1, and we don't want to subtract anything if the local date dot now is a Monday, so -1. Okay, so now we have the start, and to define the end is like start add, or not minus, but can we add days plus days 7. Gerald, so if I want to get back into making apps as a hobby, what good fits all kind of stack? MVM, Kotlin, Room. Yeah, I guess we tried out Room, but we hit a wall, so we just decided to finish the UI and then continue with Room implementation. In my previous apps, I used RealmDB. I'm not sure if they have, let's see, realm.io. I'm not sure if they have like an Androids. They should have Androids. There's Kotlin. And maybe we'll just use Realm. Why not? Why not? Let's see. Kotlin. Yeah. It's probably gonna be more easier. Okay, let's figure this out. So we got the start and ends. Hopefully it's all right, but we're going to create a breakpoint here, and we'll start a debugger I'm gonna stop this. But before we do that, we wanna do UI state, like update the state. Date start. All right, let's see. So when we go to the report screen, page should be 0. That means this, the current, weekly should be like the recurrence. So that means the current week. Let's see. Okay, so day of week dot value is 3. Cool. -1 is 2. So the start is the 6th. So let me see that. Exactly. So yeah, last Monday or like 2 days ago, it was February the 6th. So we got this. Now let's also add 7 days on top of the end. So that's like 13th of. Okay, so that's okay. That's the next Monday. I guess we want to add like 6 days and make that like the end of the day. Okay, but this works. This works. Let's also do the same thing for the month. But the start of it is, instead of like day of week, we want to do day of month. It's already an integer. Now plus days, we already created the number of pages. No, number of days. That was the monthly charts. This. Let's go back to the view model. Create this number of days. Okay, there's the monthly one, and like for the yearly one, it's pretty straightforward, honestly. Start is like this year 1st of February, and the end is like this year 31st of December. Let's see, we already got today, so let's do local date. What's up with that? So we can do apply. No, we can't. Off. Oh yeah. Today, that year. Today. Sorry. Month is like first and first day. Yeah. Same for the end. And we'll do the 12th month, 31st day. That's about it, right? Okay, so I am going to also play around with the expenses. Oh yes, it is, yeah. Exclamation mark design. This is gonna send. You'll get the Figma link. There we go. And also here's the repo if you want to check out the code and clone it on your local machine and play with, play with the app. All right, this looks, I guess, decent enough. let's try to use it now. Okay, let's go back to the reports page. We have the view model, we have the start and the end. Okay, let's obtain the UI state, collect the state. And now this 12th of September, 18th of September, what can we do with this? We can create like functions. Start formatted. And we can do what's the date formatter thingy? Kotlin date formatter. Let's parse. Date time formatter of pattern format. Bam. Alright, so we in case the start is not this year, we also want to add the year, otherwise we'll just, you know, we'll keep this. But we already had, let's see, we already had something like this. I can't remember where. Let's see. Oh yeah, the groups, the expense groups, expense days group, day.format day. There we go. But it's like today or yesterday. Hey, what the hell? I'll just do format day and that's it. We don't actually need a function for that. We already have an extension method. So what we need to do is do UI state dot start, date start, format day, and do the same for the end. And it's gonna be different. Like if we're talking about week, or no, I don't know. Let's see. Let's actually see. And it's gonna be pretty cool if it works. Too much. Date end. But I don't want to do mon 06, etc, etc. I want to keep it short, so that's not gonna be it. Yeah, Monday to Sunday. It's always gonna be Monday to Sunday, so we can remove the mon and sun. So just do like 6 Feb dash 12 Feb. That's it. Keep it simple. But let's see if this works. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. And this was supposed to work. Okay. Let's see. So the page, let's see, what's the page? 0, recurrence is weekly. If I swipe left, so it's gonna be the same. Yeah, so only one instance. Damn it, only one, yeah. Yeah, I am. We can like put it on the back thread. It's no big deal, but the reports page doesn't get recreated. That's the issue. Like reports. Here's the horizontal pager, right? We have the page here, but the reports page doesn't get recreated, you know? So when we wanna create a new view model using the page and recurrence, we're stuck with the current page. Yeah, but it doesn't, you know, the page argument gets updated. Its value gets, you know, the value just changes, but the reports page doesn't really get like recreated, or I'm not sure. Let's put a breakpoint here as well. And here. So we'll only hit this breakpoint only once inside of the view model factory. First it's here. Okay, makes sense. The page is 0. Naturally. And then we have the page here 0, which is the first page. Cool. Let's swipe now. And then we have it, you know, the page is now 1. But it doesn't, now the page is 2, right? It's, and 0. Cool, so it does recreate, you know, the rest of the pages, like the next 2 and the previous one. But this doesn't happen again. So we need to recreate, like change the view model based on the page. How do we do that? Blaine, do you have like any ideas? Like either a new instance of this view model every time, or should I just like move it here? What is this going to cause? Is this going to cause chaos in the app? Yeah, because the arguments stay the same. I'm curious to see if we enter this breakpoint with the page equals to 1. Page is 0, we get inside. Cool. Drag left, page is 1. Page is 2, page is 3, 4, yeah. 5, 6, 7, damn it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That was crazy. But we didn't end up recreating the view model. So the factory caches it, I think. Also, do I need to use this? I can just do this, I guess. Yeah. View model provider. Let's see what that is. Why do we need view model provider factory to pass view model to a screen? Yeah. So if we do this just like we did now, actually no, like this. If we do this, your view model will be created many times and won't be reused across configuration changes or recompositions because you've always created in there, instead of asking for it to be created or reusing it if it already exists. Okay. Hilt, yeah. We can look into Hilt. The thing is, I want to create this, you know, I don't want to recreate the view model again, but like have a key associated to, you know, that makes that instance unique. And the key would be the page and recurrence. This would be the key. So if either one of these change, I'm going to recreate the view model. That's the idea. Let's check out Hilt. I'm using a horizontal pager that gets the outputs the current page, and for every page I'm rendering a report page. Pass the inner padding just because I want to add it to the content. I pass the current page and also the currently selected recurrence. No events, no callbacks, no nothing. I just checked because I initially wanted to have like a view model here. I already do for the reports view model, and like create a function that would be like change page, and I would trigger when the page changed here in like the potentially available, you know, callback. So all of the, you know, all the data would change, but no, there is no callback. So we have to do this by hand. Yeah. Exactly, yeah. So the report page re-renders. There's like a lot of, you know. Like here's one, and then here's the other one. It's kind of choppy. Here it is. It's the same page, but I need different instances for this view, you know, of the view model for this view, and like for this view as well. So these should be different. Yeah, the factory only does it once, and then it remembers it. That's the thing. Like, is there a way? There is no way. I can't really. Yeah. Store owner key. Oh, wait a minute. What if I do that? Like key equals, you know, page dash recurrence dot name, you know? Yeah. I'm gonna put a breakpoint here. So that means like these view models will have different keys. So it's going to trigger, you know, it's gonna recreate the view model. Okay, this will totally work. All right, page 0, recurrence, weekly. Cool, move on. We do it only once. If I swipe right, technically I want to hit the breakpoint again with the value of page equals to 1. Hey, look at that. Look at that. Okay. It worked, but it didn't. Because of the start and end. That should have changed as well. What the hell? Alright, let's see. Let's see it again. So the page is 3. Let's see. Maybe the, you know, my math doesn't work. So if the page is 3, that means it's like the 4th. You know what? I'm gonna stop this and rerun it so I can check out, you know, do the math, validate the math again. So maybe that's the issue. All right, page is 0. Start should be like the 6th of February. Yeah, and then we need the 12th of February. Good, that's Sunday. Monday, Sunday. Move on. If I go to the reports screen now, we have the page 0. We already know what's gonna happen. page 0 again. What's going on? I'm not even... Oh man. Is it? Okay. Swipe. Now page is 1. Okay, so that means we should be looking at like the previous week. And that should be like the 30th of January until the 5th of February. 30th of 30th January? No. You see that? That's the thing. Oh, damn it. I'm not... Got it. I don't use the page here. I don't use the page. Okay. Days to subtract. This many times page. This makes sense now. Okay, let's see. Today, not really. What the hell? If the page is 0. Ah, got it. Yeah. Yeah. But this should change though. There we go. 6th until 12th, and then we need to see 30th of January until 5th of February. 40 February. Man, it is crazy. This is wicked. Okay. The math is not correct. Okay, so we can find... Yeah, let's see. This is this Monday. Okay, I can do like a minus days again. Yeah, let's actually do that. Minus days again. And we'll do page times 7 or 6, I don't know. Too long. Right? And if it's like 7 or 6, I don't know, let's actually debug this. So if it's like 0, the start and end should be pretty much the same. Yeah, but with the first minus, I am zeroing in on the current Monday, and then depending on the page, if the page is like 1, if the page is 0, start is gonna be like last Monday. If we're on the second page from the right, that means we want to get, you know, the one before the last, like last week's Monday, not this week's Monday. This technically should work. Okay, this is 0. Start should be like 6th. 6th and 12th, good. That's all right. All right, so the debugger is pretty crazy. Well, let's go left. Okay, I'm just gonna start it. It should be Monday. So we always should be Mon to Sun. 30th. Okay, there we go. There we go. We got it working. 23rd, because we had like to 29th. Yeah. Okay. Now we got it working. Now we got it working. Cool. We should do like a month as well. Minus days. Or instead of doing this, you know, we can actually find you know, get the current month and set the first date. Yeah, let's actually do that. Instead of now, we can do off today dot year, today dot month, and the first one, right? We can do the same. Actually, yeah, this one should be like this. And now, before we actually do that, we need to do start or like minus months, page too long, right? Because if it's like 0, it's this month. This should be like minus 0, it's always gonna be this month. If the page is 1 minus 1 month, it's gonna be last month. And then we define, after we define the start, we define the end. Cool, that works. And this works. Okay, I think we got the math working. Now what we want to do, yeah, totally. Okay, now what we want to do is like get the expenses and filter them out based on the start and ends. Okay, what's the page here? Makes sense. I got it now. Okay, so there's this. We also want to add, you know, do the 85, but that's like after we filter out the expenses. So instead of mock expenses, I'm gonna do UI state.expenses here. And every time we use mock expenses, I'm just gonna replace that with UI state.expenses. So we don't actually need the mock expenses now. We're gonna use them in the view model, but in order to reflect our changes, that's what we want to do. By default, it's gonna be like mock expenses. We'll change these later. But aside from this, we have the start and the end. We also want to filter out. The expenses now. So let's get the expense, and we want to return if the expense dot, oh, this is a local date time. Okay. Is before and is after. Okay, is after start and expense date is before end. And now we need to work on these. So I need to convert the start to local chrono local date time. All right, so what the hell is the chronological date time? Oh, like, can I create, let's see, chronological date time from temporal accessor. Oh, there we go. Same thing. Chrono local date time from end. Okay, so these are the filtered expenses, and I also want to do expenses equals filtered expenses. So every time we change, beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. Okay. And to actually make this a bit, you know, smarter, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to define start, end, and just like define them here, grab the expenses, and inside of that we just need to define these Nothing else. And then afterwards, we'll filter out the expenses and update the state and do all the crazy stuff. Damn. There we go. So we have the start and the end. It's never modified. 2 vals. Okay. And what about this now? Start must be initialized. It kind of is. Is there like a lazy way? Oh yeah, we should like dispatch it. Yeah. We can do that inside of the init though. Late in, yeah. Late initialized variable. Cool, there we go. So we have only one UI, only one state update. All right, so let's see. I had an app, all the movies. Hold up. Actually, yeah. Let's see, source, main, Java, view model scope, launch. All right, so that's how we actually did it. Yeah, inside I can do this basically. And this puts everything into like a back thread. But I'm just gonna wrap this into like a UI thread. Not even a dispatcher? That's cool. Coroutine dispatcher. Launch. Is that like a default? Okay, but now we need to resurface. Should we resurface this like back on the UI thread for the UI state update? I forgot how we can actually do that. Kotlin launch. Oh, wait a minute. And we can like do view model scope launch and like do dispatchers. Mate, yeah. Same thing, but different. So all of this is on the IO, which means it's like on the back threads up until this point, and then we move on to the main thread to actually update the UI state. Yeah, there we go. Let's see now. So we have the expenses as well, right? The list should change. My mock expenses aren't that diverse. And there's also a bug. All right, unable to obtain local date time from temporal accessor. Yeah. Doesn't work. Can I like, instead of doing this, I probably should convert the date from a local date time to like a, or like, wait a minute. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna do local date time on the start and the end. Okay, and I'm going to use the start of day and end of day. These should be local date time instead of that, right? So local date time off. Okay, what's up? What's with this? Oh, 2 more ends missing. Okay, 0 and 0. Hour and a minute. Cool. Yes. The end, yeah, the end is like 23:59 easily. Out of them. Oh. Like this. I just assign these and update the UI state. That's the idea. All right, so we have a local daytime. Instead of doing this, I can probably do this now. Yeah. I don't have to do the chrono stuff anymore. Okay, let's also privates. Let's also make sure that we're using the start of time, you know, start. What was this? Now? Minus days. Minus days. At the start of day. Offset. What is that? What is the zone offset? Time zone offset. All right, now. We don't need the offset. We just want to set minus days. But I just want to get like create the, instead of now, we want to create, you know. Let's see, Kotlin local date time at start of day. Local date at start of day. No? Oh, it's a local date. Okay. Damn it. Local date time off, local date and midnight. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, so start and end, these are all like local date time. I can just do local date time of this and then pass the min probably. Oh, this is crazy. All right, you know what? That's okay. That's okay, but these are not gonna be like time aware, just like date aware. And now let's see. Move this. So I just need the days, not these as well. But before I actually update the state, that's where I actually add these value by using the min and max. And now, okay, filter expenses. All right, this is the date, which is daytime to local dates is after and is, let's see, if the date, okay, I can also do I can do this. This or expense date to local date is equal to either the start of the end, right? In order to like, I'm not sure if like I have to test it out with like two dates. Create one date. Yeah, something like this. Let's actually do that, you know. And I'm gonna create the, you know, B in the same way. yeah, I'm gonna go back and so start of day on the start, end of the day of the end. Cool. Let me just debug this real quick. Damn it, what is that? Yeah, date starts is a local date time now. So I should do like a 2 date so I can format the date, but it's okay. It's okay. I'll do this, but I'm going to create a new... I'm gonna create a new extension method because the format is messed up. All right, let's see. So we got A and B, 2 separate dates. Is after? Is it true or false? Optimized. Oh, don't optimize. God damn it. All right. It optimized. So how was like the print type of thing? Print line. There we go. Optimize it now. Yeah, I know. Just like removed it. False and false. Yeah. False and false. So that means we do need the equal. We do need the equal. Because if it lands on the, you know, the same day is after or is before, it's gonna print it out as false, so it doesn't get included. But we do want to include it if it's on that day. All right, so what do we get here? We get these. So if it's after the start, then it has to be before the date, before the end, always. Or, you know, or if it's like equal to the start, or if it's equal to the end. Cool. That's the thing. Okay, let's run this now. Let me see where's my meeting. 6:30 in like 30 minutes. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Yesterday is like Tuesday. We should see Monday, and we shouldn't see more than that. Okay. If I go back, we're gonna see Sunday because that's like the reminder. Yeah. Okay. Okay, this works. This looks like it's correct. You know? Cool. There we go. So when we actually work with real expenses, for example, let's go back to the monthly one. We should see today, yesterday, Monday, but also Sunday. There's Monday. And there's Sunday as well because it is in the current, you know, month. But we didn't see Sunday in the current week because it was from last week. That makes sense. Technically it works. Crash. Okay, let's see what was that. Okay, we are getting there. Too many pattern letters D. Something happened in the date utils. Yeah. Okay, you know what? That's all right. We'll work on that. We're gonna work on that. So I'm gonna need a new extension method like format day for this. Date utils it is gonna be like a format day, but it's gonna be like on local date time instead. for range. Okay, format day for range. Here's today. Then we're gonna be equal today and yesterday. We don't care about that. We only care about this. Okay, and what we wanna render is just the day and the month. So no year, and also no E. What was the E? Actually, month and day. Yeah, no E. We don't actually need that. There we go. Format day for range, and it's gonna work. I think it is. I think it is. Let's see. I think it is. It is snappier. Yeah. We got this empty. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That works. So this is good. Now it's time to, calculate the, average per day and also the total. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so we'll place that in the state. Average per day. It's going to be, I don't know, a double, I guess. Val. Total in range. Also a double. Double, comma. There we go. Okay, after we filter out the expenses, this is when we want to calculate. Add a message if there aren't expenses for that range. Yeah, we will add a message for like an empty state basically. But before we do that, we want to calculate the average and all these things. And that all depends on the weekly, on this basically. So we probably want to do another when. Or, no, we're going to do the ifs. Okay, so we got the filtered expenses. We can easily calculate the total expenses. Amount equals filtered expenses dot. Is that like a reduce? Okay. Okay, and we want to do ACC, which is like the accumulated. Oh no. Reduce, but with like a, let's see. Yeah, but I wanna reduce based on an integer, so I wanna use wait a minute, so reduce, why do we do like a double and then expense? Can I do that? Let's see, the first is S and then the second is T. We're returning S. Accumulated is also S. So expense should be able to be here. Why is it like a double? Okay, because it needs to implement S. Damn it. So the accumulated, yeah, just like forget it. We're not gonna be doing that. Or we can do like expense and then a double. Accumulated is gonna be yeah. No, I don't wanna use reduce in this case because it's not what I expected. In that case, let's just do like a for each. No. I don't want to do a for each. Damn it. Okay, let's see. Kotlin reduce. Kotlin reduce versus fault with initial sum. Yeah, actually. Oh, there's a sum list of the number of elements. No. I want to get the sum, but not different. Sum of. Okay, there we go. Sum of it dot amount. Yes. Okay, there's the total expenses amount, and then we want to do. Then we want to lay in it var average per day. That's gonna be a double. So if the recurrence is the weekly, then the average per day is gonna be like a total expenses amount divided by 7, because it's always gonna be 7, right? If the recurrence, yeah, when recurrence, it's much cleaner. Monthly, then the average per day is gonna be total expenses amount divided by the number of days. Did we have that? We did have that, but it was like within here. I can set it directly. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And without the assignment, just the local returned. Cool, yeah. Okay, so divided by, I wanna, in this case, I should just calculate like the number of days between a start and like 2 dates. Let's see. Start. Or actually no. If it's like a monthly, then the end and day of month will give me the number of days, of course. Otherwise, total expenses amount divided by 365, because it's the yearly, right? There we go. Okay, we got these two as well. Let's see. Average per day. And total in range, total expenses amount. Cool, let's go. What is that? No. Let's go and replace that. Okay, so this is the first one. This was total. UI state that total in range. And then we have the average per day. UI state, average per day. Make a property called days in range. Yeah, and remove that one and just divide by that. You can reuse it elsewhere in the view model. You mean like make a property called days in range? Oh yeah, so when I and then when remove that, yeah, when and just divide by that. That'll make sense, yeah. And I can like use that inside. Good idea, good idea. So we can do again same thing, but it's gonna be days in range is gonna be like an integer because we're working with like clear dates. So if it's a weekly one, days in range is gonna be 7. If it's a monthly one, days in range is gonna be the number of days. Otherwise, days in range is gonna be 365. We're talking about a whole year. Okay, it's always 365. Okay, now we got the unit, or no, and now we can only do this and remove the whole when. Yeah, but there's an issue. What's the issue here? Okay, it's in that case, let's just do like days in range equals 1, but it's a var 1 is like harmless. Yeah, okay, this makes sense. This makes sense. Thanks, Lane. All right, let's see. Damn it. Look at this number. No, we're not playing here. Let's go to the expense row and actually see what we did. I guess it's a decimal. Yeah, we gotta use this then. Look at that. That is crazy. Yeah. This, and put this inside of it. We also don't want to do a string wrap. We'll just want to do the texts. Okay, let's also do the total in range. And try that again. Much better. Much better. You see that? You see that? Cool. I also want to do something interesting. I also want to, if it's like possible, draw a line for this. So like draw a line somewhere over here, I believe, for the average per day. That will go on all of the, where is it? All of the charts. If it makes sense. If it not, it's all right. Then we also have the K situation, but I'm gonna keep it like this. I'm not gonna add the K's here because we do want to see like exactly how many. One way I can think of is to have a box that renders the chart and then the line on top, or that as well. Yeah, but I want to control the line to like exactly point on 809.5, you know. Okay, but this is actually pretty useful. We got everything now, right? And it's working, and it's recalculating. See, it's even animating. Yeah, I know, lots of math. Okay, so let's do the empty state now. Like if there is no data, we can just say no data, right? Expenses list, groups, expenses, keys, blah blah blah. That means if there are groups, so if is empty, otherwise like give me rows for each of them. If not, we can just say no data for selected date range. And we should probably like center that, but we'll see. We'll play around with the modifier now. Okay, so here's this range, no data for selected date range. This is actually pretty decent, honestly. We just need to push it up a bit. Modifier, padding, top, I don't know, 30 density pixels probably would make sense. So it's a bit more, you know, it's a bit lower. It doesn't really. Let's see. There we go. No data for selected date range. And this is your date range. So cool. Yo, this is it, you know. I'm just gonna push. What did we do? Implemented reports, screen paginator, or pagination. Yeah, pagination plus view model logic, I guess, complete. We're still working with mock data. We'll implement that someday, probably tomorrow, if we manage to like find the time and all these things. Oh, was that did it? Yeah, it did push. Okay. All right, so I guess this is it, you know. And I got like 20 minutes left until my meeting, so yeah. I think it was a productive day. We pretty much finished the whole report screen, UI wise and functionality and everything. So when we introduce real data, you know, all of those things will just like get calculated correctly. We didn't add the average, you know, line, and that should have been like a my cat is making some noises, dude. But yeah, we didn't add the average per day line. That's all right, I guess. If we find, you know, if we figure it out, we'll just add it. Cool. But yeah, I'm gonna go now. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for watching. This was very productive, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye bye.